Thank you, Eddie. It's always difficult to follow my brother. He likes the mic. Okay, I want to just go back a little bit and tell you how we got here.
Exit 286.
For those of you that are familiar with our company, we refer to our company Tonkin for the love of cars. And we refer to for the love of cars because our family, we're car nuts, and people have a relationship with their car, and we certainly do. So I want to go back and tell you a little bit about how we got here. Really, it starts many years ago. In 1960, my father was the youngest Chevrolet dealer in the country. And while Chevrolet was a great business, his passion was for an automobile in a little town in Italy by the name of Maranello. And that was the Ferrari brand. Now, in 1966, my father became a Ferrari dealer. And when he did, the first car we were allocated, which came from Reno, Nevada, was not trucked to the dealership. Rather, he booked a ticket and flew down to Reno, and he drove that car up because of the passion for the brand. He still owns the second Ferrari we were ever allocated. Now, moving forward several years later, the way that I was involved with the Audi brand, I always admired Audis. I thought they were beautiful cars, but I really had never had an experience with one. One day I went to lunch, one of the managers of our company, who is here tonight, as a matter of fact, Matt Crandall, he came to pick me up in a 2002 Audi TT. And I looked at it and I said, scoot over, I'd like to drive this thing. And I did. We went to lunch, and I said after that, I said, hey, can I drive this thing for a couple of weeks? Do you mind? And I got so excited about this car, I was telling everybody how much I enjoyed it. Well, I did such a good job of that I actually sold it to somebody that worked in our company. And after that, I started looking through our lots to see if we had any other TTs. And lo and behold, I found one at our Acura store, and I drove that for a couple of weeks until I got a call one day, and they said, hey, we need the keys to your car, we're going to show it. So I lost the car. So the next couple of weeks, I would go home at night and I would explain to my wife, Michelle, I would say, boy, I miss that car. I really miss that car. She said, well, if you miss it so much, why don't you get one? I said, well, because we don't sell them. We're not an Audi dealer. How would that look if I drive a car that we don't sell? She says, bottom line is, would it make you happy? I said, yeah. She goes, are you a consumer? I said, yeah. She goes, order the car. So I called my friend Rob Rosetta, Sunset Audi, and ordered a car. And in 2003, I picked up a red TT with tan interior, and I absolutely loved the car. I loved it so much that I started following blogs on the internet. And I was modding the car and doing all kinds of things. I felt like a kid in high school. One day I look at Audi World, and every day I'm looking at this website, and they show a picture of a car called the Audi Le Mans Quattro. It was a concept car. They just unveiled it in Paris. And they said they may build this car. It was a V8 mid-engine car. This is the convertible version of that car, the Le Mans Quattro, now the R8. I called Rob and I said, Rob, this is Brad. I see that there's a car coming. Audi says they may build it, and I'd like to get on the list. He says, it's done. You'll be number one. So when I started following the rise and the excitement and the passion, the building of this brand in town, and I started contacting Audi, and lo and behold, we were lucky enough to go back and present to Audi. And while I think and I hope that they recognize our business as a solid one, and as a company that we had the means to put a dealership like this together, I also got to think that they saw that it wasn't just a business decision, but it was a passion in my heart. And I hope that that passion, and I believe that that passion is something that you will experience as well when you do business with us, if you do business with us, whether it's sales, parts, or service, because that's really how we feel about the brand. You see, this isn't something that's just about business, it's also for the love of cars, and that's why I'm so proud to be here and to have the dealership here on behalf of our family today. There's a lot of people to thank. It takes a long time to get from here to there. It's been about 2.5 years since I was in Detroit, and I met Johan, who's the president of Audi of America, who I'll introduce in a few minutes. But I want to thank the people on our team that worked so hard to make this happen. Shauna Redmond, our assistant, who worked so hard in the construction side. Tori Mittendorf also is here, and he's been working on our projects for years. I want to thank U.S. Bank. Mark Lansom is here from U.S. Bank, and I want to thank him. And as far as the people from Audi, let me say this. Eric Weidel, who is in charge of, well, he really held our hands through the entire building and construction process. And he's here tonight, and so is Scott. But there's Eric. I want to thank Eric. I also want to thank John Dreyfus from CR Studios. They're the architectural firm that works with Audi, that basically come out and they sit down and they look at the land and they draw up plans for a building. So Scott Dreyfus from CR Studios is here, along with Steve Milam from Lee Ruff Stark and Danny Drake from Lee Ruff Stark Architects, that were the architects for this facility as well. And finally, for the faces from Audi, I introduced you to Eric already. Early on, I met a gentleman by the name of Anthony Holbrook, who was, I believe, back in Virginia, a wonderful young man that made his first, he was the first person that I met from Audi that came to visit, and a fellow by the name of Sanjay Dada. Neither of them are here tonight, but I do want to, I wanted to mention them in my comments. In addition, Mr. Mike Cagle, who's head of the web. Scott Swenson and Steve Cohen, who are the reps for our area here, are here tonight, and I want to thank them very much. And Jeff from Audi Financial Services is here as well, and I want to thank him. And I knew I was going to forget a couple of people. The construction company, by the way, that built the facility, Dennis Manx Construction. Dennis is here tonight, and Casey Solon is here, and Jeff Computer. They were all instrumental in getting this building built. And then finally, I wanted to thank Mark Del Rosso from Audi for coming out, and I want to introduce Johan de Nijssen, who is the president of Audi of America.